Adam, how about at Red Hat? Give us a use case that you'd like to cite in regards to enabling this capability in an agency.
Yeah, so I think whether it be within the federal government or whether it be in our commercial customers, we're finding
Good catch.
that everyone is trying to figure out how to marshal all of the resources around AI. So I'll give you an example. When you start working on AI, you've got a developer who says, "Oh, I need a GPU in my workstation. I'm going to need that in order to start building this thing." And then suddenly you've got an army of people clamoring for GPUs in their workstation. So you call your favorite GPU or CPU vendor and you're like, "Hey, I'm going to need something bigger, right? I'm going to need a bigger boat." And as
No,
you
you
right,
call your CIO, who then calls the vendor.
right, exactly. If you're lucky, sometimes they don't call the CIO,
Of course.
which is a worse situation. You've been there, and so then you end up with almost this like large timeshare machine that you've got to figure out who's going to get time on the GPU array so that they can start doing all this. And we see this as an emerging issue, sort of on both sides, as I mentioned. And so we're working very, very tightly with folks like NVIDIA and Intel and Pure and others to make sure that we can help sort of divide those resources up and make them available to developers. Because the reality is, this workflow that developers have to go through to enable this technology to really serve the mission, which is what this is all about, it's very, very intensive. And the faster we can get them through that workflow to the resources that they need in the time that they need them, the better off they're going to be. So when you're thinking about partitioning up all of those GPU resources and others, we've got some solutions around that. The other thing I'll talk a little bit about is everybody's talking about AI for their mission, but also there's a big workforce enablement part of this as well. And getting the end users comfortable with AI, but also getting tools for AI and that use AI into the hands of your end users. And so Red Hat has been working diligently to build AI into the capabilities of our product. So, I jokingly mentioned to our Red Hat Enterprise Linux product manager that I wanted to see an AI prompt into the bash command prompt, like the most low-level thing a technician is going to use in Linux. And he said, yeah, that's coming. So we're going to have generative AI all the way from the lowest level for your sysadmins and technicians, all the way through to Ansible and OpenShift and the other products, so that your system administrators and site reliability engineers can start to build automation and other capabilities faster to start solving those problems. And as Nick mentioned, spend a lot less time wrangling that infrastructure and a lot more time solving the mission.